are headed out to the West Coast Conference. And for folks that don't, people in the East, maybe Southeast people that don't pay attention to anything in that Pacific time zone, there's a lot of good sports played in the West Coast Conference. Very strong basketball conference, as we know, with Gonzaga and St. Mary's. And the baseball program at St. Mary's is notable as well because they have put a lot of big leaguers onto our landscape, from Von Hayes and Tom Candiotti to the current crop, many of whom were coached by Eric Valenzuela, who is back as the St. Mary's Gales head coach and joins us on the stove. Eric, good morning. Good to see you.
Matt, Harold, how are you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
Hey, we're doing great, and congratulations on the start you guys are off to. Took 3 out of 4 over the weekend at Seattle. You've won 8 of your first 11, and for you, coming back to St. Mary's after a great run there previously, some time at Long Beach, tell us what it's like to be back with the Gales.
Oh man, it's such a tremendous honor. I loved it. I mean, our 6 years here from 14 to 19. Such a great opportunity. It was unbelievable for us and my family. And then, the 4 years at Long Beach, it was great, and I learned a lot. And we had 4 great years. And obviously going through COVID during that time was a tough transition. But it just, it was just a great opportunity for us to go down. It was home for my wife and I, but not for my kids. I mean, this was Moraga, and this was NorCal. And when this opportunity came up to come back and be here where we felt like, it was home and it was just a place that we missed. It was just a no-brainer, and we love it, and we're glad to be back in the Bay.
Well, for kids, for young players, prospects, they want to go where the facilities are nice. I understand you got new digs. From my Moraga home native over here in Matt, tell us about the new facilities.
Well, I think it's a long time coming. I think if you probably asked Von Hayes and Tom Candiotti, I bet they were recruited saying that, there was going to be a new stadium coming out, And so, but now it's a reality. And, our athletic director, Mike Matoso, and his staff have just done an unbelievable job with the resources and facilities. And, it's getting better and better. We have a long ways to go still, but I mean, every year it's been better and better. And I appreciate what they do. And not only that, our alums and boosters that, want this thing to be great. And, and I'm just happy to be part of it.
Yeah, what kind of contributions and participation do you get, Eric, from some of your former guys? You had Corbin Burns, you had Tony Gonsolin, Patrick Wisdom played with the Gales. I think he predates your time there. Ken Waldachuk, a guy that you had there. Are they still involved at all in the program?
No, 100%. We just had our big banquet in January and had over 300 people. It was sold out. And, we honored, Corbin. We honored Mark Tia and retired their numbers. I mean, great relationship still with Tony and Ken Waldachuk, who we got to coach. And, they helped us win our first championship as well in the history of the program in 2016. Corbin and Tony Gonsolin were both on the same team. We were just talking about that this weekend. Corbin started against Coastal Carolina in 2016, who ended up winning the national championship that year. But in that game, the first run that was scored was Tony Gonsolin hitting a home run to start off the game in the first inning. So, it's a rich history, and it goes way, way back. And it just has gotten better and better. And so we're just hoping to, take it to that next level. And just like our basketball team, I mean, what Randy and his staff has done with the basketball program being ranked, they're always ranked in the top 20. I think they're ranked 16th or 17th this year. I mean, it's such a great place to go to school and obviously a great education. And, what we've been able to develop, from a baseball standpoint into the big leagues is just, it's pretty phenomenal for, obviously the size of our school. And, but yeah, it's a great place.
So tell us a little bit about your team this year, competitive-wise, talent-wise. Give us a little bit about the Gulls.
Yeah, I mean, it is, I'm very excited. I mean, the transition is always tough. And this is, my third kind of go around as taking over as the head coach at a new program. I think the biggest part of it is, the transition period with the kids and making sure that they're, with the change, these 18 to 22-year-olds, I think that's always the toughest. How's this coach going to be? What is he going to do? How is he going to? It's going to be different. But this group of guys have just been phenomenal for me and my coaching staff. We have a lot of older guys, a lot of seniors, a lot of fifth-year guys that, have just really, really helped this transition and get our younger guys right. They want to win. They want to be great. They do things right on and off the field, in the classroom. I mean, we broke a GPA record in the fall for the history of the program. So that just, does that equate to wins? Not necessarily, but it equates to discipline and how they go about their business. And that's what it's all about. So I'm just lucky and blessed to have, the group of older guys that have totally bought into this and to their coaching staff, and they want to be great. And so, we've had 3 good weekends. We're 8-3. We've all 3 weekends we won the series, and so we're excited. And we get to, we have a tough midweek tomorrow against San Jose State, and then we get to go out to Gainesville and play the number 4 team in the country at the University of Florida. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Our boys, they're not going to be scared, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, you guys are on the road a little bit then to Vegas to play in that weird circumstance that is involved with playing the Runnin' Rebs. That's fun stuff. Hey, real briefly, I want to talk about your coaching career too, Eric, in the short minute or so we have left. You spent some time at San Diego State under Tony Gwynn. What impact did he have on your career as a head coach, and are those still lessons that you kind of think of to this day?
Well, exactly what I talked about with our team. When you talk about doing things right, when you talk about, the classroom part of it, making good choices, good decisions, how you are with people, obviously the baseball part of it is just legendary, right? And the stories and, the development pieces of that. But just being a good person and a good human being and doing things the right way is what he was all about. And me as a young coach coming up, to be part of and to be in his life and his family's life with Junior and his wife. And that was just so big for my family, my career. And I use those tools all the time. I love telling the stories that he used to tell us. He had so many great ones, but he's everything that, I want all of my players and myself to be when you talk about doing things the right way.
Eric, we appreciate the visit today, man. Good luck against against San Jose State tomorrow, and good luck as conference play continues. You guys are off to a great start. Go Gales.